Ready? Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to see everybody could come after lunch. Hopefully everybody won't just kind of nodding off in the next couple hours from all that food. But we'll have a number of speakers today talking about different aspects of electronic lab notebook technology. A little bit of introduction to myself. I've been in scientific informatics about 30 years now. My company, Atrium Research, I'll talk about in a second, is a market research company in scientific informatics, and so I'm pleased to be able to moderate this session today. I'll be talking about electronic lab notebook technology using formulations as an example of how the technology has evolved to go beyond what we call kind of the sticker book approach into more structured data management solutions, and how it kind of impacts some of the convergence of other technologies in the space, such as lab information management systems. My background in this in ELN, I write up a publication, major publication on ELN every 18 months or so. Some of you actually have purchased that. And I also write the ELN column in scientific computing. But I want to talk a little bit about the context in which I'll be discussing this afternoon, and a couple of little brief intro into the ELN marketplace, and then using formulations as an example of some of the data integration challenges that we face with ELN approaches, and then some discussion of structured data management and ELN. We'll talk a little bit about leveraging some standards and some best practices. Before I jump into it, how many from IT side of the fence? Pretty much every business side, science side? Okay, some of you both. Okay, I get it. Just kind of understand the context of the audience. But let's talk, I just want to kind of set up a little bit about the market for electronic lab notebook technology. We've now grown to about 35 suppliers. I keep a list on our website that I've got to update because every week we're getting a new announcement from somebody that they've now jumped into the wonderful world of ELN. Similar to what it was, I think, back in the early 80s, if I remember correctly, when I jumped into LIMS, kind of the same dynamic. But the majority started with really kind of document-centric kind of solutions, more of this paper replacement, some kind of sticker book type of concept of just getting rid of the notebook. But then, you know, as you kind of move downstream, and I'll be showing this a little bit later, as you move downstream, you start adding more structured data management needs. And so many started adding structured data management components to this document-centric paradigm, which has kind of interesting architectures, some of which are less than optimal. But it's trying to merge that structured data approach. And then you had the LIMS players kind of jumping into it. So you have people like LabWare, LabVantage. I mean, you got all the LIMS players are now jumping into ELN from their perspective. They started with structured data approaches, trying to add that unstructured data approach into the fold to really kind of come out with this holistic solution from a workflow management, sample tracking, into the kind of the document flow, where the traditional ELN players started complete opposite side of the spectrum. So you have this basically this convergence, overlapping technologies now trying to address a common space, particularly in some of the pharmacology areas, some of the screening or later stage screening areas, into areas like formulations, analytical that I'll be talking about particularly today. But as you can see from the market, we've grown quite a bit since 2006. If you really look back just a few years, the market was about $39 million.